Hello world, it's Angelat, and I'm back with another iteration on this intro visual synth idea I've been playing with. And the first thing I'm going to do is fork this notebook, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm hoping to do in this video, and then we'll actually do it and check it out. So, part 3. Let me comment out this video since we haven't made the video yet, but you're watching it right now. And the first thing I want to do is remind you, if you haven't seen it, I hooked up these buttons to different keys on the keyboard. You can also click them, and they kick off these sort of effects over time on this visualization. And in the previous videos, I go over the code to create these inputs and this visualization. And what I want to do is, first of all, I heard that from Phil that in France, actually, the keyboard layout is very different. So ASDFG is all in one row on a US keyboard, but on a French keyboard, it is not. So we want to make it optional that you can actually, I want to make it super easy to just remap whatever key you want to each of these. My first thought was to do it programmatically, like set up an array, let you type in different things. I just realized that we could probably also do some sort of programming of these, like while you click it and you hit a key or something, it would reprogram and would show it here. So we'll think about that and figure it out. Anyway, I want to make it easy for somebody with a different keyboard layout to still play this. The other thing I want to do is look at the waveforms, so to speak, of each of these effects, because they're all being driven by different easing functions. And so I need to refactor this code a little bit because the effects are all done in this mixed up, jumbled together way, and I just sort of chose easing functions as I went along before. But I'd like it so that you could also we could figure out a way to configure what the easing curve is that goes into each of these. And then finally, if we, get through all that quick enough and still have a little bit of energy, I was thinking, well, it's fun to see the effects on, my name here. You can switch out this text pretty easily to whatever you want it to be, but it'd be cool if you could also sort of develop effects. If we were thinking of like the particle as like the base thing that we're making a lot of effects out of, like we could just make a little grid and make it easy to play also with the ideas that are done in this like weird math stuff, but maybe in a more isolated way, so you could sort of design the effect for each key that you want, and then it gets combined together in the final result. So let's get started. I think I'm going to go with the idea of the keyboard binding being something below here that you kind of configure. Maybe we can flip a switch and it will switch between layouts, or we'll just make it really easy to program one. So before I start coding, we should look at what's going on here. There's basically this switch statement. So we could start by saying something like keys equals A, S, D, F, G, make an array. And now we have keys. And we could go here and we could say, instead of A, we could say keys 0. And we're just going to do this. Here each time. So 0 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So hopefully, when we close this, yes, A, S, D, F, G. Okay, they all still work. Another thing we might do is render the letter in this box. Seems, easy enough to do and might be better than this intro text here. So we're creating a bunch of rectangles, and then let's just go ahead and essentially copy this, say text, give it the same X and Y for now. Sorry. The text would be just the value, because I believe that's just the number. Oh, I guess it would be, it's the index that we want into the keys, like that. And then we want the, I guess is it fill? In SVG text, you still use stroke and fill. There's no like color attributes. Let's make it really big. And this should probably be, is it working? Let's see. Oh, we need to append text now, right? Okay, there's our letters. So we want them to be near the bottom. Let's say 1/2. And the X should be, I'm just going to arbitrarily do this right now. Just magic numbers, that's a little bit too big. Let's see if I do that. Maybe that's more pleasant. All right. So now we have labeled keys. And you can pretty easily switch out the keys you want to see here. So for the next thing I wanted to do, I want to see the curves. And so for that, like one thing that's going to be kind of interesting is thinking about how to package, like essentially these buttons are going to be doing more and more things, or there's going to be more and more stuff per button, and like just adding a sixth button should be trivial, and we'll see if we can keep that up without having to add several new cells every time. So in any case, I was inspired by something I saw from Fabian here, Mutari, and he shared with me this cumulative offsets notebook, and I don't know, I love something about the colors and the way this curve is shaped, it's kind of nice and smooth. Have something like this. It doesn't, because this is actually slightly more advanced thing that maybe we'll play with, but really just like for one curve for each of the buttons, and then that would let you, and then maybe we do something like this dot going up and down as time passes when you hit the button, right? It would play this curve. We can play with some stuff there. So I want to be inspired by this. I feel though that I am not going to try to get this. I took a look at this code earlier. The stepping and the indexing is a bit too much for what we need to start off with. We just need to be able to draw a line, and so this looks like it's doing it with a pretty straightforward although I don't know what HP and WP are. Padding. Okay, so he's giving it some padding in the thing. All right. So let's just try to get a single one of these going. And I'm going to just copy this part because I think this is kind of the main thing we want. And to start with, I think I'm just going to do it here under A, or you know what? We'll do it right under here for now. And we're going to need a canvas, so I like to just copy this. And we're probably going to want to make this into a function, like, actually let's do that. This will be make curve, and we'll say ease, and we should probably also give it the value like this. So let's see if we can get this working. What I'm thinking there is that you can call this, well, this is constantly changing. So I guess what you want to do is make this curve once. Let's leave this value out for now. And see how it goes. Sorry, so all right, and we may configure some of these options the way he did here. Oh, he did this star thing. Okay, so we can follow his example here. So this is taking in steps, which is this thing. But he's doing his while loop within this function. All right, well, let's see what happens. So it makes a context 2D, fills it, width, height. Let's do something, and then with padding. Let's not do any padding, so we'll just do width. And step. Width over the canvas width. So we're just going to say 1 for now. So we're going to draw a pixel. We're going to get a value to the pixel. So the ease function we have already. Let's say let color. I kind of like that aquamarine that he had chosen. So we already have our ease. And P, what is P again here? padding, so we get some kind of radius. Let's see. Let's ignore that for now. Well, or we'll just say let p equals 0. You can always change it. Height padding, let that equals 0. And this shouldn't be ease. This should be x. Oh, 2. What was 2? Oh, it's x over WP. So this should be x over width. All right. And this should be return canvas. It's not a BG. This one's online. All right, so then if we make curve and we choose one of these to start with, and then what we'll do is, okay, I'm going to say this is 100. All right, so I think that worked. Maybe it's going too high. So if the height was less, oh, we're not using HP. Let's use HP. Okay. So do this. All right. So it goes, overshoots. We also use this one. So that would be S. I think I'm like reversing them or something. These two. There's these 3. So I also guess I'm only using these 3. Oh no, ease 2 is the radius. Let me scale up the radius. So that would be, I think, G. That's definitely starting. Let's see, R scale. It goes from 0 to 1. So I feel like it's got to be going backwards. Let's do the last one. So this is the one. These are based on. They go high and then come back down. I feel like this isn't the whole story. Maybe the value. Oh, that's right. It's kind of reversed because the value starts at 0. So it's not going from 0 to 1. It's going from 1 to 0, because when you hit a key, it sets it to 1 and then it decays. So really what we want is maybe the opposite, yeah. So this is the radius one. This is why it starts at 1, it goes up a little bit, and then it decays. And as Fabian pointed out, it does kind of end up feeling responsive to the input, because the second you touch the key, oh, I gotta get rid of the pointer events on these letters. This is like a great thing to know about in general. You can set pointer events none, and then whatever element it is will not interfere with the mouse. Yeah, so when you click on this, immediately you get an effect, and then it dies down. So that's what this is. And I guess this one's never really being used, because it would just sort of die down really quick. This stays going for a little while. Yeah. So I think what I should really do is think about, you know, instead of I'm just copy pasting these in here, we should be keeping track of which easing functions are going with which key. So one thing we could imagine is having something like eases, and that would be like ease. So I think I have this one right now is whatever ease 3, ease 3, ease. Because, so it's a little hard to track what's going on here because we're using, oh no, we're using the values S, D, G. So wherever you see one of the letters and an easing function together, that's the combination. So really, I think it'd be good if we just passed in G and the ease was already taken care of, because each of these, this is at, so S and D, where's A does something with the color, ease 2 is A. So yeah, that would make sense, right? So here, what we could do is we could yield the easing function. So if we said eases 0 of this, and that has to exist. So let's say, all right, we have a few things going. I don't care about this one anymore because we're not using it. Instead of calling this, I'm just going to say this is eases 0. Oh no, yeah, eases 0. And I'm going to say ease 0. Oh, no, I'll do it like this. I'll just put it right here in the array. Yeah, because, so that one was that. And I think the very last one is also this ease function. And then, oh, okay. So ease is 1. And we're going to put this 3 times as the SDF. I believe this is how it works. And then, oops, I think if I do the A, let's see, which one? It was A that I hooked up, so it's actually doing it the ease on it twice. Oh, it's 1 minus A. Okay. I think we could do just this. And A. Let's try this on S. Oh, great. It's a complicated thing. Oh, it's doing it sort of twice on it again. All right, so ease. So S is here. So that still works. So let's get D to work. If I take this off, we should see what D, yeah, D just kind of slides back in. Kind of cool, but not the idea. So we're gonna say, oh, all right, I don't like this pattern. I'm gonna say like I is 1. Oops. Okay, I just do I. So everything's just indexed off the same thing. And and then when we do this, we can also, we could make this a function. Let's try it. Okay, so I think we have to do this one function. I'm going to call this a decay and pass in I. So if I say decayer, and this will be decayer I, no, I should just say 0. Let's see, he yielded something inside the while loop. I guess I have to return. Okay, so I think that worked. We do not need to see that. So this should be decayer 1. All right, and then if we move away from the letter things, we'd be able to just iterate this. But let's do one thing at a time, make sure these all work. That one is empty, okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and all of these still work, but some still have their eases in there. So the scale doesn't need to be this. Let's see. The thing with doing these decayers independently, we could also imagine something like decay, decays. And so I'm using decays because I want to get into sort of the synthesizer type thing where you have oscillators, and I don't quite understand all that yet. So I know this is just like, value turns on, decays down. Let's say it uses .map. Decayer I. So these are generators. Okay, let's see if this works. So in here, if we replace A with decays 0, and let's do S decays 1, D decays 2, ASD. All right, so ASD. Okay, that works. All right, so we're getting towards this refactoring I had imagined. So G is the last one, decays 4, and the force layout thing was F. So I can also erase all this, and I think F is the force layout. Was it? That's the rate of decay. So simulation. Is it the alpha or something? How did I? Decays is not a function. Did I ask it to be a function? Oh. Okay. And I change all these back. So it doesn't like that, decays. So I thought it was working. I guess it doesn't do the whole like resolving the promise with like mapping this, so I was a little worried about that. All right, so let me put A back. So that doesn't work for now. I think I'm okay with the letters, because if you want to add a new effect, or you would move these down here. You'd add a key, an easing function, and I'm just going to delete these. And I guess you kind of want this up here. Keys can stay here. And these are more, these are kind of interesting. So let's make one for each, and then we can get more. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We could swap out different curves for different effects. And I believe I use a yeah, there's a great notebook by Mike that shows the different easing functions. Although this is showing them all as animations, which is great. That's what they do. But if I want to use one of these, and then these don't, so these have like the exponent thing. So let's just say for S, the second one, I'm just going to use that. So S, that one is the ease back with the overshoot is D, and S, it just kind of comes in. It's a little less exciting. What if we try this? Okay, do 3. So unlike this one that goes up and then down, this is just going to go also, but it tightens a little bit, you know. This one has a little bounce, but it hangs out and it comes back. What if I change the exponents? What if I make that really high? So it's gonna like dip really fast. So that's kind of fun. It gives it like a holding the pose kind of feeling. And I can make it less and less exaggerated. I kind of liked it sort of more here where nice. So we can make different easing curves. Oh yeah, I never did. How did I do the force simulation? I think it like, I got distracted when I broke something. All right, so this still works. I'm not sure what this is. How did I do? There's a reset, that's right. So when the F value is above this, it randomizes the position of everything and restarts the simulation. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting way to get stuff to move crazy and then simulate back. Okay. So the ease doesn't matter. Well, I guess it does in that if you had, so F looks like this, it overshoots, so it'll stay above 0.9 for a while. Let me see. So if we changed it to G, let's say, the reset, and then we hit G. G doesn't go above. I guess it has to be the overshoot to cause the trigger, because G immediately starts going down, so maybe it goes down faster. Well, I think I want to call it for this video, and then next time get in on the designing the different effects per key refactored out of this main visualization. So tune in next time. Thanks for watching.